happening? Len Kale, Hunting Western Mass. Want to check in with you. A lot of good things are going on. Good things are going on, even though the hunting's tough. Today I'm headed up to Mount Toby. But first, I want to give a shout out to Roland Matthews, Ed Adams, Coy Scott, Paul Lopes, the RidgeRunner, Swampy, Jim and Kenny, Ed Adams. You guys are all doing great. It's good to see you guys out there doing the work. Ed harvested a nice deer, and hopefully the rest of us will be able to follow suit. The hunting is pretty tough right now. The deer have gone into their survival mode. It looks like they fled the county. That's what Todd says. Todd G. And I'm going out. As you can see, I got my infected thumb, which is just a joy. Sent me to the emergency room the other night, and right now I got some drawing out salve on it, and I'm taking some antibiotics, and they're like, my mom's like, oh, you shouldn't hunt. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'm going to Mount Toby. I run into some old timers. The old timers tell me, hey, when the deer get pressured and they go into survival mode, head to Toby. So that's where I'm going. I got to stand up there. I looked, and it looks like the barometer's going to start to rise right about now, 9 o'clock, and it's just going to steadily rise. So hopefully they'll be out feeding. Usually up on Toby, I've been up there with my uncle in the cold weather and this late, and there's a spot up there that we go to that we would stop and have lunch, and we would like make a fire, and those deer, while we were sitting there eating lunch, would come 40 yards away and dig up the side of the road looking for food. So they're pretty wily up there. I've seen some nice deer. I got a nice deer up there, 122 pound doe, a couple of years ago, and it's just a great spot. And what else is going on? I'm gonna chip in, I think, the first 20 or 40 bucks towards the 120 that we need for the 5 archery sets. I got a picture of one. It's called the Little Sue set. It's made by Barnett, and it's for, it's a kid's first bow. It's a toy, but it's not a toy, and I'll talk more. I'll do a post about how we're gonna do that, drawing. And if anybody wants to throw some money in, that's cool. If not, I know Christmas is hard anyway. I'm also thinking about doing a charity drive, food drive for some people that have got it tough in the Greenfield area. But I'll have more on that later. Back to hunting. So conditions are tough. I'm going to look for them in thick cover. The wind direction is right. Hunt stand. I got that new application, Hunt Stand. Application looks great, although yesterday when I went in, the wind wasn't exactly right. But you know what? It never is where I was. It's never been where it's reported. So I'm interested to see when I go in today if it works. Hunt Stand is great. I downloaded it on my phone. I don't even have an iPhone. I just have like a regular, a Walmart Straight Talk special with Android on it, and it installed easily. I put in my hunting locations. You can put in deer tracks, camera locations. The other day I wandered around in the woods looking for a camera for a while. Now I can just go click, here's where my camera is, and so it's a good application. Check it out, Hunt Stand. That was brought to you by Swampy. Thanks, dude. And you see, Swampy and the RidgeRunner are out today. They just said they're on one, so we'll see how it goes. I hope you guys are out there doing it, and if you aren't, you should be. And I wish you guys all the luck in the world. And this is my morning report. This is the fourth day of shotgun season. All right, Hunting Western Mass out. Mid-afternoon. It's about 1 o'clock. I gotta come out of the woods because I got an appointment. I'm getting some good reports out there. There might be some harvesting going on. I'm still waiting for confirmation on that from a couple of our guys. I was really happy with the way things worked out today. I went up to Toby up to where my stand is, but I couldn't climb up on my stand with my thumb the way it is. It's just it's infected and it's painful. I mean, it's all right, but I wouldn't want to aggravate it any worse than it is. So I wasn't able to climb up my stand, but I had a blind that I did get into, and a hunt stand, yeah, kind of let me down again today. But you know what? It actually goes by the actual the weather reports, which is probably what it's supposed to do. And it seems like the weather always says one thing, and then when you get in there, the wind is blowing in an entirely different direction. And you know, according to the weather and hunt stand, the stand I was going to go in was going to be perfect because it's kind of at the edge of a cliff, so it was going to be blowing the wind off of it, and it would have been a great spot. But what happened was it wasn't blowing that way, it was blowing another way. So what ended up happening was I had to circle all the way around to get to my blind. It was kind of a hell of a walk, but I knew there were deer in there and I didn't want to spook them. Man, it was like today, after the storm, after the snow melts, it was like you could glide through the forest and not make a sound. I think I popped 2 twigs in a 1.5 mile hike, and it was just so quiet in the woods, and it was nice. And I thought I had an edge, but the wind, where I had to circle around, did blow my scent in that direction, and I'm pretty sure. So here's what happened. I dropped down into my blind. Had the wind going right for me. I was kind of down in a gully, and the deer like it down in there because when it gets windy and cold like this, there's little to no wind. So I sat there for a while. No action. And so I'm getting ready to leave, and I walk over to where I believe the bedding area was from last year, and this is what I found. Looks like I found a bedding area. There's a little blind right here, and my blind is over on that side of the hill. There's a side hill, and the wind was blowing that way, so I had to circle around and come in and get in my blind. And I sat here this morning, didn't see nothing, didn't hear nothing. But then I got ready to leave. I decided to come over and see if there was still bedding here, and as you can see, I counted like 30 piles of fresh deer shit. So yeah, I'm in the right spot, that's for sure. I kind of blew it by leaving early, but maybe I'll come back here tonight and see how it goes. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Deer shit everywhere. as you can see, there was a ton of sign. There was round deer poops, old deer poops, green deer poops, black deer poops. Clumpy deer poops, and they were all fresh. Also, most importantly, the poop that I was looking for, and that's the drop, drop, drop in a line as you're walking. Only bucks do that. Only bucks will poop while they walk. Those do not. So seeing that in a couple different places, a couple different sizes, made me pretty ecstatic. I'm gonna start targeting Toby now because it seems like that's where all the deer went to. All right, and yes, Toby. Anyway, you know, the last day or two. So that tells me that those deer, there's a good sized herd of deer that I usually run into every year up on that mountain, and there's a dominant buck that runs with him. I forgot his name. I have to look it up in my hunting logs, but he's a corker, and I've been after him for 3 years now. I don't know if he's still around, but because I haven't got up to Toby as much as I like to, but finding that bedding area in that spot really validated, you know, my hunting day. I was like, you know, I felt like, yeah, okay, you know, I'm nailing this down. I know where they're at. I know what's going on. If the wind was a little different, I probably would have had a little better chance. I'm thinking that if I get up in my stand when the wind's right, I can catch them going over there instead of having to walk all the way around and scent up the whole area, which is what I pretty much figured blew my hunt today. But anyway, I'll go back out for an hour after lunch, and I'm gonna hammer down and kill, see what's going on. And I got, like I said, I got some good reports coming on, good things. Barometer's on the rise. Let's see what we can do. Today is going to be a great day to be in there for last light. Hey yo, hunters, what's up? My hunting day has drawn to a close. Still waiting on some reports from the field. Might have been a successful day for some of our guys. Waiting to hear. I had a successful day. As you saw in the video, I put that stand up in that spot, and year after year, when the deer get pressured and they go up to Toby, they always end up bedding in that area. And I found an incredible amount of sign. I know they were there. The wind was just wrong for me going in the way I did today. When I went in, they definitely winded me. They knew I was there, and they were out of there. Or they were out partying somewhere and aren't going to come back till later. But I'm pretty sure they bed down there. Some of that sign was fresh from this morning. A lot of that sign was fresh from this morning. And it was several different deer. So anyway, that worked out for me. I'm happy. I'm going to climb up on my stand. I'm going to try and get out early on Friday. Is that tomorrow? Yeah. And get up on my stand early and see what happens. And maybe I can drag JB out with me. Anyway, so, you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Just when we were talking about how tough it is out there and the deer have all disappeared, you know, they're out there. You just got to find them. And run into guys in the woods and they're like sitting on a log, you know. They're like, I don't see much deer around here. Well, if you're sitting on a log and you're looking in the wrong direction, the way the wind's blowing right at you, you're probably not going to see any deer. If you turn around on the log and with the wind in your face, you might have a little better chance. But just a lot of guys just don't seem to want to get up and move around, and that's the key. That's the key to the lockdown part of the season is you got to be moving. Because if you sit there, the deer are going to sit there. And I know it's tough and snow's crunchy and all that stuff, but that guy sitting on a log, I went and Gil and he was sitting there, and I said, hey, well, you know what, I'm going to make a loop up around here, and I'll go up on top of that knob, and I'm pretty sure those deer are up there. And he's like, oh, that'd be great, that'd be cool, I got my doe tag, da-da-da. And I said, all right. So I was going to go after the RidgeRunner, not Todd. I was going to go after the RidgeRunner buck, and then I had limited time. I said, well, I won't be selfish. I'll do my good deed. So I circled around. I climbed the freaking cliff, and I went up to the top. And sure enough, the deer were there. But they took off up higher in another direction. I was kind of hoping they would circle around me, but they went, of course, into the wind, which is usually what they do. So, again, I found the deer by moving. At least, I knew they were there. I could hear them crash around. It was more than a couple. But, yeah, so if you're in the woods, stand hunting is great. In the morning and at night. During the day, I don't know how much luck you're going to have this time of year, but we got a second rut coming up. And it's the round 2. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, you guys, this is Lenny with Hunting Western Mass. I'm wrapping it up. This is day 4 of shotgun season, Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. This weekend should be crazy out there, pandemonium. Hopefully we'll get some guys out there moving some deer. Alright, I'll talk to you later.